fang now, at least.
What is it? I'm in no mood for chatter.
Sorry. Do you mind if I ask your trade?
Hunter, why?
I have a question. Can you tell me what makes a good carving knife? I assume you use one out in the field.
Has to be able to put up with some punishment. Can't be dealing with a brittle blade, not while I'm on the hunt. If your knife snaps every time you use it, you'll be spending coin as fast as you make it. Times are hard enough as it is.
Thank you. I won't keep you any longer.
All business, eh? Man after my own heart.
So, a carving knife should be hard-wearing and hold an edge. Hardly a revelation. Let's hope Sava had better luck than I did.
Hanging lanterns, keep silver platters, made from the stoutest stoneware.
Kneaded to a silken softness.
Yes, they're quite sought after.
So, how'd it go? You learn anything useful, or should I be looking for a new trade?
Only that a blade should be durable and stay sharp. But I don't see how that relates to the spirit of Dalamil.
I didn't have much luck either. All the cook said was that he needs his knives to be light. Too heavy and they do his shoulder in.
So we're no better off than when we started. Perhaps Lubor didn't mean anything with his Dalamil remark. But that can't be right. I've bandied enough words with the man to know that he chooses them carefully. No. We must be missing something. Something right in front of our noses, most likely.
No doubt you're right, but I have to make a start soon. I can't put off making this knife forever.
Agreed. Lubor wouldn't like that much.
Not one
Right.
bit.
I've been trained to work iron. The cheap stuff, mind. But it's hardy enough if you don't hammer it too thin, and it sharpens up nicely with a bit of effort. Trouble is, it's either durable or it's light. Meaning someone is going to be disappointed. Forge Master Lubor, probably.
Is there no one else you can turn to? Someone who knows their metals, perhaps?
The other apprentices know better than to help me with my test. But maybe there is someone I could turn to. A merchant, a favorite of Forge Master Lubor's, who sells metals to tradesmen passing through the Valcroy. I bet she'd know a thing or two.
Come on. Fly, Ambrosia.
Whoop. Right? Ambrosia. Reunited after 15 years, something like that. Same one that saved us at the beginning.
I can walk from here.
Okay, this should be the right side now. Yeah.
Ready, go?
Welcome back, Fire Kirby. Good to see you, bud. Made it.
You deserve a rest.
Axel it is.
I suspect that's why there's so many
Reminds me
soldiers
of the redhead
in town
Queen Marks.
to deal with any Imperial reprisals.
Any luck? Or will you be needing help with your bags?
Well, I asked her, but... Oh, you tell him.
If you're looking to make a knife that will impress a master like Lubor, there are options. They're just not that viable. Featherlight adamantite knives will get passed from generation to generation, never needing so much as a lick of the whetstone.
Bingo.
But adamantite ore is unique to ash, so it doesn't come cheap.
And it's beyond my skill to handle.
Unique to ash. Are there any materials unique to Dalamil? Something which could be mixed with iron to refine it. Make it lighter.
Preferably.
What are you getting at?
You said that Lubor trained you to work iron. Then that's what he'll expect you to use. But he would have known that it would either be too heavy or too brittle for a carving knife. Perhaps his Dalamil remark wasn't a riddle, but a hint.
If it's cheap metal you're using, then there's always limestone, I
Missed it.
suppose. Folk first settled Dalamil to get at her mineral deposits. And, if you know the trick, it can be melted down in the furnace to drive out impurities from low-quality iron.
Bloody hell! That must be it! I don't suppose you know the trick, do you?
It's hardly my speciality, but I've been around enough blacksmiths to know how it works.
Looks like I've got some learning to do.
Very.
Clive, I hate to ask after all that you've done for me, but...
The limestone? Fine. I can hardly abandon you now.
Might as well see it through to the end.
Besides, I want to know if this is the answer to Lubor's little riddle.
I can't thank you enough, Clive. You'll have no trouble finding limestone over in the terraces. The place is bloody made of it.
Then I suppose I'll meet you back at the forge.
Right you are. I'll see you shortly.
Deuces.
So, do you crush it up, or just throw it in the furnace?
Alright, cool. I don't know if we'll have to... Yep. Go right back. Oh.
Back to the stables, girl.
Is it true what I'm hearing?
My carpets have...
Take a sniff, good sir.
Fresh bread, warm from the oven.
Don't forget about that one.
Just look at the detail.
We should get going soon. Do you have water?
Ah, I'm not too late.
What is it, Lubor?
This guy.
A question that I neglected to ask earlier. Where is it that you're bound?
To Drake's Fang. To finish Hugo Kupka.
Just as I thought. Then allow me to share a secret. Drake's Fang is currently riddled with royalists. Talmeki and Waloed are allies, and as you've seen, their soldiers work hand in glove. But no nation has ever before allowed a foreign army to make a barracks of its holiest of holies.
Not by choice, at least.
And there's more. A man on the inside of the Fang has failed to report for several days. I fear there may be more trouble lying in wait for you on the road ahead.
Isn't there always?
If you're determined to beard the lion's den, then promise me one thing. That you will enter via the mines, where the guard is lightest. I've lost one Cid already. If I lose another, people will start to think me careless.
I don't plan on dying.
No one does.
Not before Kupka does, anyway.
Well, so long as you have a plan.
Resourceful.
Drake's Fang should be just beyond these springs. Shall
on.
we press on?
The shit was right here the whole time, and he couldn't. Okay. Could have at least came with. Ooh.
One rock looks a lot like another. But hopefully this is what Sava needs.
We should get going soon. Do you have water?
That speed would be preferable all the way throughout, but unlucky.
Sweet incense. What candles? Silver platters. Plates and pots.
Needed to a
Juiciest meat
silken
from greens. It would make a fine.
I wasn't sure how much you'd need, but I hope this is enough.
You are one of the good ones, you know that? You and that merchant both, she's got quite a gift for teaching that one. Now, time to see if limestone is the secret weapon we were hoping for. That'll do, I reckon.
Looking pretty
A
good.
knife forged from the very rocks of Dalamil. Her spirit, if you will.
It's a fine-looking blade.
I only hope Master Lubor agrees.
That sounds like my cue. And just as well. I was getting tired of waiting.
I'm sorry, Forge Master Lubor.
Let's take a look then, shall we? First things first, Sava, do you think this is a carving knife worthy of the fine people of Dalamil?
I'd like to think so. But what do you think?
What do I think indeed? It's sharp-ish, but it won't last long with hard use. And it's heavy, heavier than it should be. You might not think it just to hold it for a moment, but sell that to a cook and you'll never hear the end of it. It looks like someone paid a visit to the terraces. The limestone was a step in the right direction, granted, but one that still leaves you short of the mark.
And I was so certain I had it all worked out.
I don't know who you found to teach you that little trick, but it certainly shows initiative. Next question. How much do you think I would charge if I'd made this?
350.
Well, if it took you even a fraction of the time it took me, I would say you could demand a heavy purse.
And who would be able to pay that? The butcher? The hunter? The cooks over at the inn? Dalamil is home to humble traders, not wealthy lords and ladies. Rule number 1 in any business, Sava, know your customers.
Yes, Forge Master.
This is just about passable. But only just. I'd say you're worth keeping around a little longer. Starting tomorrow, you'll have an anvil of your own.
I will. Thank you. I was wondering, what would you do if you were asked to forge a carving knife?
I'd do what I always do. Ask who it's for. If it was for the butcher, I'd make sure it holds an edge. For the hunter, I'd make it as tough as Titan. For the cook, light as a feather. And for the nobleman, I'd make it cost an absolute fortune.
Surprisingly smart.
There goes a master, all right.
It looks like congratulations are in order.
I couldn't have done it without you. So much for the Forge Master's riddle, though, eh? The spirit of Dalamil had nothing to do with limestone or anything much at all. Meaning, I had you run around for no good reason.
You've passed your test. That's all that matters. You'll have a forge of your own in no time.
And when I do, I'll craft you the finest carving knife you have ever seen.
There you go. Plus 10 renown, sweet. Alright, that was just the one out of the two.
The finest fabric!
Yes, they're quite silk.
Light, meat and dark. Fresh from the...
Made from the stoutest stoneware. Everything I've worked for. All those years of toil. Every coin I've ever earned is tied up in this place.
Are you all right?
The baths are closed. Leave me be. On second thought, perhaps you are just what I need. Might your services be for hire?
That depends on the job.
I'd have you save my business, the baths. The water's turned scalding hot and all the crystals in Dalamil wouldn't be enough to cool it. I've no doubt that my woes stem from the water's source. But I can't go and investigate for fear of my customers thinking I've abandoned the place. I'm bound to these baths in more ways than one.
Reason.
I beg of you. Go to Dusnoff Terraces. Tell me what you find there.
All right. I'll go and take a look.
Wonderful. It's not far. Leave the market by the south gate. The smell of sulfur will guide you the rest of the way. These baths are all that keep me from an ignoble end in a debtor's prison. My livelihood, my very life, is at stake.
Not sure, sir. Sure it's that dire, but we'll do it for him anyway. Excuse me.
Hanging lanterns, keep it up.
Is that out? Yeah. We need it all the way up there.
We should get going soon. Do you have water?
Ready, go? Run like the wind.
Come on, girl, it ain't. What the hell are those things?
Nothing good.
By the flames. That explains the heat.
Garuda!
Frying pan. Let's cool things down a bit. Let's hope it's enough to keep the baths from boiling.
I'd say it should.
Good girl.
Faster!
Come on, girlie.
We should get going.
I can walk from here.
Do you have water?
I've got a crystal. Finally, we'll be able to get lost.
There he is. I was hoping we'd be seeing you again. The baths grow more bearable by the moment. It won't be long now before we are back to business as usual.
I'm glad to hear it.
Now, tell me this. What did you find at the terraces? What threatened to make me a pauper?
Not what I expected, that's for certain.
You tell a fine story. That's not to say I don't believe you, though. Creatures made of flame, eh? That's something new to worry about. But I've burdened you with my worries enough already. Here, a small something by way of thanks. Right. It's high time I got back to work. With a little luck, the day might yet be salvaged.
Well, there's a positive outlook.
Just look at this. Wait! Said, what, hello?
Finally, we'll be able to get lost.
Come on.